I remember after graduating high school, I kept having this dream that I kept taking the final test. I had to take it. The pressure was on, but I had not prepared. How traumatic. Have you ever had that dream? A dream where you had to take a test, but you were not prepared for it. And it shows you how traumatizing it was. And I'd wake up in a cold sweat, and it would hit me that there's no more test. There's no more school. No more death, no more sorrow. I'm in heaven. I remember the incredible joy, that I wouldn't have a test again. At least after college, I wouldn't have a test. But life, here, it's not just school. Life is filled with tests. After you graduate, well, first of all, before I get into what God has to do with this, there are tests throughout your life. You graduate from school, the government tests you to obtain licenses. There are tests in careers about advancing. Tests are crucial, but God also uses tests for your life. They are crucial for your walk, and it's crucial to know that you're being tested and passing the test. Imagine if you're in a school, you're being given a test, but you never know it's a test. So you never study, you never prepare, you'll never do well. Most believers they go through tests with the Lord, and they never study for it, never prepare for it, and never even know it's a test. We need to understand what God does, and by doing that, looking back at what happened in our school days is actually going to give us revelation about what happens in our life right now. God gives us tests. And we say, why, Lord? I mean, things are happening. When we don't even know it's a test. Why, Lord? Why did you let that happen? Why? Everything was going fine. Why did that have to happen? Why? Why does he do that? Why does he test you? We all go through problems, conflicts, crises, sorrows, but God tests us. He doesn't test us through the good times. He does test us through the crisis. Why? Because, number one, God is your teacher, it says. Messiah is called what? Rabbi. Rabbi is a teacher. It says in the Bible that God is our teacher. Jesus, Messiah, Yeshua, he taught his disciples. He's always teaching, but there's no teacher who doesn't test. He taught them. The word disciple in Hebrew, talmadim, try it, talmadim. Talmudim literally means, that's what they were called. They didn't call themselves disciples because they didn't speak English, but they called themselves Talmudim. Why? Because it means the learners. They're learning. Every day they would be learning of Messiah. Every day in the same way, if you're born again, you are a Talmudim. You're a disciple. And every day he is teaching you, whether you're receiving it or not, he's teaching you. He's trying to. It's free. It's the greatest course. He's using everything in your life to teach you. So we're not on earth just to hang out or just to survive. We're here to learn. We're here to be disciples, to change, to follow the rabbi, follow the teacher. Every day we're to be changing, learning, growing, progressing. So what teacher doesn't test? Well, that's why the Lord tests you. If you've gone through a test, why were you tested in school? Because if this is the heavenly version, why were you tested in school? Why does God test you? Number one, same reason, but on a cosmic level. Number one, to show what's inside you. God is interested in reality, not appearance. We can be a certain way. We can all put on airs and we can all pretend. But the test brings out the real. Some people talk a very great talk, but when the test comes, that's where it shows where they're at. And that's where it shows where you're at. It's easy to preach about patience. It's another thing when you're in your car and you get cut off and you're in that traffic jam. That's the test. But that brings out the real thing, not the words. It's easy to talk about peace, but when you get a letter from the IRS, how do you react? That's your test. The test shows you the real thing. It shows you where you really are at. The real picture. God knows all, but he chooses to manifest it. Messiah, when he was with the woman with a daughter, and she says, heal my daughter, and he says, I can't, because I only came for the Jewish people. And why should I give the bread for the children to the dogs? And it seems very cruel and very harsh. And then she responds, she should have, again, I bring this up because if this happened in our life, if we went up to a minister and that's what he said to us, we would have walked away. Most of us, 99% of us would have stormed out and said, this guy is a phony. But she doesn't. She passed the test. We might not have. She passed it. She said, but even the dogs eat the crumbs. And then he says, oh, woman, great is your faith. And he heals her daughter. Why did he do that? It was a test. It wasn't because he was mean. He's not mean. He wasn't cruel. He wasn't prejudiced. But he was testing her. Are you going to give up now? Are you going to let that hit? Or are you going to believe to push through this? And sometimes doing it in the same way in a test in your life, it might seem that God is cruel, but he's not. It's a test. It may seem like he doesn't care. It seemed to her like he didn't really care. He did care. But sometimes in your life, you know the test because it seems like he doesn't care, but he does. Are you going to hang in there? Are you going to believe no matter what you feel? Believe even though you don't see it. Are you still going to believe? That's your test. The test reveals the disciples of God. Why does God test? He also tests us. This is going to sound very weird, cosmic, but it's true. He also tests us for the sake of the angels. It says the angels are watching. They're watching. And God manifests before all creation what the miracle of salvation in your life. As with, say, Job, when Job is going through all those things, heaven is watching. But I'm going to show you a man of God. To manifest the light when there's darkness all around you and you manifest the light, God says, look there. It's one thing when everything is fine, that's not a test. And that doesn't show what's inside you. But when everything's dark, then the light's there, that shows what's inside you. How can you show the light with light all around? But when there's darkness, that's when the light is shown. So with your life, don't despise dark things. Don't despise the dark times because it's as silly, as crazy as a candle despising the darkness. You shine into it, that's your test. You manifest who you are.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Hope of the World is dedicated to the goal of spreading God's Word and salvation to every land and people. We do this by spreading the Word throughout the world and sponsoring compassion projects to the most poor and needy around the earth. To get in touch or have a part in God's work, just write to Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Or go to hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821.